Let me tell you something I have learned in my life. Never tell anyone about your plans. I know it sounds strange because we all want to share our dreams. We feel excited. We want people to know what we're working on. But here's the truth. The moment you start talking too much, the energy starts disappearing. The fire that should be used to build your dream is spent on explaining it to people who may not even understand you. When I started my first business, I didn't have money, I didn't have connections, I didn't have experience. All I had was an idea and the determination to make it happen. If I had gone around telling everyone my plan, do you know what would have happened? They would have told me, Jack, it's impossible. You can't do this. You don't have what it takes. And maybe I would have started believing them. But because I kept quiet, I didn't give them the chance to plant doubt in my mind. You see, when you tell your plans, you also open the door for other people's fear to walk into your life. Not everyone wants you to succeed. Some people will discourage you because they are afraid of trying themselves. Some people will copy your idea before you even start. And some will smile in front of you, but deep inside, they are hoping you fail. Silence protects you. Silence gives you space to think. It allows you to make mistakes in private and learn without the pressure of everyone watching. And most importantly, silence keeps your focus on action instead of words. Remember, the world doesn't reward you for what you say you will do. It rewards you for what you actually do. When I was building Alibaba, many people didn't even know what I was doing. They thought I was just busy with some strange internet thing that would fail in a year, but I didn't care. I wasn't trying to impress them with my plan. I was trying to impress myself with my results. Years later, when we succeeded, those same people came to me and said, Jack, I always knew you would make it. That's life. People will doubt you at first, then pretend they always believed in you. So keep your plans in your heart. Work in silence. Let your success speak for you, because when the results come, you won't need to explain. They will see it with their own eyes. And trust me, that moment feels much better than all the applause you could get today just for talking. Don't waste your time proving yourself with words. Prove yourself with your work. You don't need everyone to understand your plan. You just need to believe in it yourself. Focus, be patient, and act. And one day, the world will not ask, what are you planning? They will ask, how did you do it? And that, my friend, will be the sweetest answer you will ever give without saying a word. You know, when I was younger, I made a mistake that many people make. I had a small idea, a little dream, and the first thing I wanted to do was tell everyone about it. I thought, if I tell my friends, they will be inspired. They will cheer for me. They will support me. So I spoke. I told them every detail, how it would work, how I would succeed, how big it could become. And you know what happened? Nothing. They nodded politely. Some smiled, some laughed, and some told me, good luck, Jack. But here's the thing. After I told them, I felt like I had already achieved something. I felt satisfied without actually doing anything. That's the trap. When you talk too much about your plans, your brain gets a false signal of accomplishment. You feel like you've already climbed the mountain when in reality, you haven't even left the village. And then, when it's time to actually do the work, you realize your energy is gone. Your excitement is weaker. Why? Because you've already released it into the air through your words instead of channeling it into action. I learned that your energy is like water in a bucket. Every time you talk about your dream, it's like poking a little hole in that bucket. Slowly, drop by drop, your energy leaks away. By the time you finally start building, you don't have enough left to keep going. That's why I tell young people today, stop talking, start doing. You see, ideas are cheap. Talking is easy. Execution is what separates dreamers from doers. If you have a plan, you must guard it like a treasure. Keep it in your heart, protect it from the wind, and let it grow strong. Because the moment you expose it too soon, the wind of other people's opinions can blow it away. When I was working on Alibaba, in the very beginning, I didn't run around telling everyone, I will create the biggest e-commerce company in China. If I had done that, most people would have said, Jack, you are crazy. It's impossible. You know nothing about technology. You have no money. You can't even code. And maybe, just maybe, I would have listened to them. Instead, I kept my focus on action. I didn't spend my energy trying to convince people I could do it. I spent my energy actually doing it. And when we finally launched, when people could see the results with their own eyes, they said, Jack, you are so lucky. But I knew it wasn't luck. It was the power of keeping my mouth closed and my hands busy. If you truly believe in your dream, you don't need to talk about it every day. You just need to wake up and work on it every day. Because action builds energy. Every small step forward fuels the next step. And when you see progress, even if it's tiny, it gives you more motivation to keep going. So, my friend, remember this. The world doesn't pay you for what you say you will do. It pays you for what you actually do. Stop giving speeches about your dream before it's ready. Don't waste your energy explaining to people who don't understand. Protect your bucket, protect your water, protect your energy, and when the time is right, let your success make the announcement for you. That is how you win, not by talking, but by doing. When you share your plans too early, you don't just share your excitement, you also open the door for other people's fears to enter your mind. And believe me, fear is contagious. I've seen this many times. A young person comes to me, eyes full of passion, and says, "Jack, I have this great idea. I'm going to change the world." They start explaining every detail with so much excitement, but then they go back to their friends, their family, their colleagues, and what happens? Someone laughs. Someone says, "It won't work." Someone says, "It's too risky." Someone says, "You're not the kind of person who can do that." And little by little, the confidence in their voice disappears. That's how dreams die. Not because the idea was bad, but because the wrong voices got inside. You must understand, not everyone sees the world the way you do. Some people have never chased a dream before, so when they hear yours, they project their own fears onto you. They aren't really telling you it can't be done. They are telling you they can't do it. And if you're not careful, you'll start believing their story instead of writing your own. When I started Alibaba, I didn't go around looking for everyone's opinion. Why? Because I knew 90% of people would not understand. They would see only the problems, not the possibilities. If I listened too much, I would have quit before I started. That's why I say, protect your ideas like a newborn baby. In the early stages, they are fragile. They can't survive too much criticism, too much doubt. You have to nurture them in a safe space where they can grow strong before facing the world. When your idea is ready, when it's strong enough to walk on its own, then you can introduce it to people. But until then, silence is your shield. Don't let other people's fear become your reality. Because the truth is, your dream doesn't need everyone's approval. It only needs your commitment. One of the hardest lessons in life is realizing that not everyone wants you to succeed. And sometimes, this truth hurts the most when it comes from people you know. When you share your plans openly, you think people will be happy for you, that they will cheer you on. But here's the reality. Some people will smile in front of you and say, "That's great, I'm happy for you," but deep down, they're hoping you fail. Why? Because your success reminds them of their own inaction. Your courage makes them face their own fear of trying, and for some, that's uncomfortable. Others may not even wait for you to fail. They will try to take what you've built before it's ready. If your idea is good and you share it too soon, someone with more resources, more connections, or more experience might copy it and run faster than you. I've seen this happen again and again. The original dreamer is left behind, wondering what went wrong. When I was starting Alibaba, I learned quickly to be careful. We didn't announce every move. We didn't share every plan. We kept things inside until they were strong enough to defend themselves. And that saved us from competitors who were just waiting for a good idea to steal. It's not about being suspicious of everyone. It's about being smart. You don't leave your valuables on the street for everyone to see, right? You keep them safe. In the same way, you must keep your dreams safe until they are unshakable. Understand this. The world can be competitive, even cruel. Some people are not clapping for you. They are waiting for you to trip so they can take your place. And it's not personal. It's just human nature. So be wise. Share your victories when they are real, but build your plans in private. Protect them not just from negativity, but from envy, from competition, and from those who would rather take your dream than see you achieve it. Because when you finally win, the people who truly support you will celebrate, and the others will simply be left wondering how you did it. When you are chasing a dream, one thing is guaranteed: you will make mistakes. Not one or two, but many. And that's not a problem. Mistakes are not your enemy. They are your greatest teachers. The real problem is making them in front of the whole world before you are ready. When you tell everyone about your plans too soon, you also invite the world to watch every move you make. And when you make your first mistake, because you will, people will not just notice, they will talk, they will judge, they will say, "See, I told you it wouldn't work." And instead of learning from that mistake quietly, you'll waste energy defending yourself, explaining yourself, or worse, doubting yourself. But when you work in silence, your mistakes stay between you and the lesson. You can fall, stand up, and keep going without the noise of 100 opinions in your ear. You can try different approaches, experiment, and fail without the pressure of an audience. This freedom is priceless, because in the early stages, your dream is like a seed. It needs a safe space to grow roots before it can stand against the wind. I remember when we were building Alibaba, we made so many mistakes in the beginning. Wrong strategies, bad deals, poor decisions. But most people didn't even know we existed back then. And that was a blessing. We had the space to fix things, to learn, to grow stronger, without the world laughing at us. By the time people started paying attention, we had already made most of our early mistakes and built enough strength to survive the criticism. Think of it like training for a big fight. You don't practice in the middle of a stadium with thousands of people watching. You practice in private. You make your mistakes in the gym. You correct them quietly. Then, when you finally step into the arena, you're ready. So, protect your learning phase. Make your mistakes privately, where they can make you better, not break you. Because in the early stages, it's not about impressing people. It's about becoming the person who can actually win. The world is full of people making promises. They talk about what they will do, where they will go, how successful they will become. But here's the truth. Talk is free, and everyone can do it. Results? That's a different story. When I was younger, I noticed something. The people who talk the most about their plans are often the ones who do the least. Why? Because they spend all their energy on convincing people with words, instead of convincing them with action. They chase approval instead of progress. You have to understand, results are the real language of success. You don't have to tell people what you're building if you're actually building it. You don't have to announce your dream if you're living it. When the time comes and your results are in front of them, people will see the truth without you saying a single word. When we were working on Alibaba in the early days, many people didn't even know what we were doing. Some thought we were wasting our time. Others thought we were a joke. But I didn't care about their opinions. I cared about the work. Years later, when Alibaba became one of the biggest companies in the world, those same people came to me and said, "Jack, I always knew you'd make it." And I just smiled, because that's the power of results. They rewrite the story without you having to argue. Results also protect you from doubt. If you tell your plans too soon, people will challenge them. They'll ask you to prove yourself before you're ready. But if you focus on action, your work becomes the proof. You don't need debates. You don't need long explanations. You just point to what you've done and let it speak for itself. So, my friend, don't waste your energy trying to sound successful. Use that energy to become successful. Let the world see your hard work through your achievements, not your speeches. Because when your results finally speak, they speak in a language everyone understands and no one can argue with. In today's world, everyone wants things fast. Fast money, fast success, fast recognition. But here's the truth. Nothing great is built overnight. A strong dream is like a tree. It needs time to grow deep roots before it can stand tall. And that time requires patience. When you tell your plans too early, you create an invisible pressure on yourself. People start asking, "So, how's it going? Did you make it yet? When will it happen?" And because you don't want to disappoint them, you start rushing. You make decisions too quickly. You take shortcuts. And in the process, you weaken the very foundation of your dream. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about working consistently while you wait. When we started Alibaba, nothing happened for years. We didn't become successful in 1 month or even 1 year. It took a long time before people even noticed us. But in that time, we were building, step by step, mistake by mistake, lesson by lesson. That slow growth gave us strength. Think about it. If you plant a seed and dig it up every week to check if it's growing, you will kill it. Your plans are the same. You have to plant them, water them, protect them, and give them the time they need to grow. Talking about them constantly is like digging them up. It interrupts the process. Impatience makes people quit too soon. They expect results immediately, and when it doesn't happen, they give up. But patience gives you the ability to keep going, even when the world doesn't see what you're doing yet. Remember, the greatest rewards in life are for those who can delay the celebration until the work is truly done. Silence gives you the space to work without the noise of constant expectations. Patience gives you the strength to keep going until the dream becomes real. So don't rush, don't expect magic. Focus on building, not announcing, because when you have patience, you are not just creating success, you are creating something strong enough to last. My friend, I want you to remember this. Your dream is not a public show, it is a private journey. The world doesn't need to hear every step you're taking, it needs to see the mountain you've climbed when you're standing on the top. You don't need to impress people with promises. Impress yourself with progress. Keep your mouth closed, keep your head down, keep your hands working. Protect your energy, protect your ideas, protect your dream, because not everyone will believe in you. Not everyone will want you to win, and some will try to stop you before you start. Make your mistakes in private, learn your lessons in silence, and let your results do the talking. Patience will be your greatest strength. It will turn small steps into big victories and quiet work into loud success. One day, when your dream becomes reality, you won't need to tell anyone what you were planning. They will see it with their own eyes, and the same people who doubted you will say, "I always knew you would make it." You can just smile, because you will know the truth. You didn't win by talking, you won by doing. So leave the noise for others. You go and build. And when the time is right, let your success be the only announcement you ever need to make.